So glad that you're here. Welcome to everybody that's here in person. I invite you all to join us. Come in, come in. Welcome to everybody that's online. So glad that you're here. Concordia means harmony, where many hands and hearts come together. Our mission is to provide spiritual tools for personal and global transformation. Our purpose to awaken humanity to their spiritual magnificence. And our vision is a world that works for all. Special welcome to first-time guests. We'd like to gift you with a welcome packet. I invite you to introduce yourself to our greeters, and they will impart to you a Science of Mind magazine that has loads of information, deeper dives into science of mind as a philosophy, things that our home office is doing. So please don't leave, if you're a first-time guest, without one of these gifts. I invite you to fill out the connection card. You'll find that in the front pocket in front of you on the bench. Please fill your name out if you want to be added to our newsletter. We'd love for you to get all of our announcements. There's only one newsletter per week. It's a digital newsletter that goes out typically on Fridays, and it offers all the information on our Sunday service, our upcoming events. So please don't leave without getting yourself added to this connection, weekly connection. And then on the back is an opportunity for you to share with our prayer team, our licensed spiritual practitioners, what is on your heart and mind for yourself and for others. Let us join with you in knowing the truth. So put your prayer requests here, and we'll pray over them. If you want to be contacted by a practitioner, there's a space for that on the back also. So fill out this card and then put it in the basket when the greeters come around. After service, we invite everybody downstairs to join us for fellowship, for heart-to-heart connection, for a little snack and some coffee or tea, if you please. But join us for a little bit more connection after the service. We invite you to go downstairs with us. Today is a little bit different. We have a little bit different celebration service. We have Reverend Faerie Elaine with us today that's going to lead us in a joyful noise. So I want to introduce a little bit about her to you. Reverend Faerie Elaine Silver is a celebrated folk musician, spiritual teacher, and metaphysical minister whose luminous voice and heartfelt performances have inspired audiences across North America and Europe. With over 22 albums to her name, she blends original composition with spiritual teachings rooted in new thought, science of mind, and earth-based traditions. Ordained as a divinity priestess in the Temple of Isis on October 10, 2010. She is also a licensed Science of Mind practitioner and certified passion test facilitator. And due to a lifelong passion, is also a certified beetleologist through Beetleology University in the UK. Say that 3 times. Elaine has shared stages with folk legends like Arlo Guthrie, and Pete Seeger, and collaborated with spiritual luminaries including Deepak Chopra, Wayne Dyer, Marianne Williamson, Alan Cohen, and Don Miguel Ruiz. Known for her fairy persona, she infuses her concerts, workshops, and Sunday services with magic, love, and transformative energy, offering a musical ministry that uplifts and heals. How is it to listen to all this stuff about you? Good for you. She's delighted to make her debut as guest minister at Concordia CSL. Please welcome Reverend Faerie Elaine Silver with our warm Concordia welcome.
That always works. No. Oh, that's for, okay. All right, thank you, Tracy, and thank you, everybody. You know, I used to come up here when I lived in New Jersey. In the 90s, I came up here and provided music. And so this is my first time as the guest minister, and I'm happy to be here. Welcome my spiritual family. I don't know all of you yet, but we know each other from our hearts and souls and minds. And so I'm going to be beginning this portion of the program with a musical meditation. It's called the universal voice. So if you'd like to get comfortable in your seats, feet on the floor if you like, and cross your arms if you like, close your eyes if you like, lower the gaze, watch me, watch the lyrics, whatever you're comfortable with. You know, we're human spirits. We have a body, right? Different from spirit. And that difference is that spirit gets to experience the senses, the physical senses through us. It gets to see, hear, taste, feel, touch through us. It's really a gift to have this body. And the other distinction is that we are blessed with free will, which is also called choice. There's always a chance to choose. Consciously or unconsciously, we're doing it. Listen to that universal voice. We are always at choice when we tune into the universal voice. It takes discipline to listen into the universal voice. Now, it doesn't take discipline for everyone. Some people just have it, but it helps. Practice. And there's a universal choice. It's the love in the universal voice, but it takes discipline to listen into the universal voice. The universal voice is still and small. The universal voice answers every call. This comes from within, below and above, as the sacred sounds of love. The universal voice brings us knowing. The universal voice keeps us growing. The universal voice sets us free to roam to the universal sound of Om. I invite you to Om 3 times with me like this. Om. We are always at choice when we tune into the universal voice, but it takes discipline to listen into the universal voice. God is, I am, in this very sacred presence I know all is well. I am so grateful I release and let it all go. God is, I am. In this very sacred presence I know all is well. I am so grateful. I release and let it all go. God is, I am. In this very sacred presence I know all is well. I am so grateful. I release and let it all go. We are always at choice when we tune into the universal voice. But it takes discipline to listen into the universal voice. Try that with me. It takes discipline to listen into the universal voice. It takes discipline to listen into the universal voice. You can come back to the room if you're not back yet. Come on back. Hi, everybody. Good morning. We're going to go into the program, which is titled Spiritual Economics Through Song. And anybody here taking that course, Spiritual Economics? Wasn't it fantastic? I actually took the course over 20 years ago at the Church of Religious Science in Clearwater, Florida. And this was my book. This was the copy that I had over 20 years ago. And when I took the course again in the spring of 2024, there was the book on the shelf, and I took it down, and there were some things underlined, but now like every page is yellow because there's different stuff in this book now that wasn't there 20 years ago. The book evolved. It's an example of when the student is ready, the teachings appear. And so I used to go and see Eric Butterworth, the author of this wonderful book, in New York City. I'm from New Jersey originally. I lived there until 2000. The year 2000, I moved to Florida. I already had a little house there, so I moved there. And I just keep coming back. I never really left New Jersey. I come back in the summers typically, except I didn't come back during COVID, because I couldn't. And it was, anybody else had that experience with you couldn't do anything and you just surrendered into it? It was, not that I enjoyed, the negative side of it, but it was really powerful. It was a powerful thing to not have to do this and not have to do that and just relax. And I wrote tons of songs. So I just wanted to share a little bit about my experience with Eric Butterworth, because I used to go quite often. But the first time I went was in 1976. I had met a woman at the S training, and did you ever do that? S training? I love that. I was 21 years old when I took that. And I met this woman, Rebecca, who I'm still friends with. We're still in contact a little bit. And so I was in the March D program. So we graduated in early April, and then probably the next weekend was Easter Sunday. And she invited me to Lincoln Center to see Eric Butterworth, who I'd never heard of. And she showed up in a beautiful Easter bonnet, and it was just really taken by hundreds of people filing in. And then there was also, I'm not sure who the minister was for First Church of Religious Science, also met at Lincoln Center. Stuart Grayson, or maybe somebody before him, I don't know, in the 70s. So Rebecca brought me there, and so she'll show up a little bit later in the talk. But as I mentioned, I took this 20 years ago or more, and I know what was really different about this time. In the past maybe 3 to 4 years, I've become a pretty prolific poet of haiku poetry, right? So it took me forever to do I'm not the best reader. I have sometimes a challenge with reading, but it took me forever because I kept getting inspired and writing poetry. I wrote about 400 haiku poems in this course. And so I'm going to share some of those today too. So it'll be spiritual economics through song and poetry. And what I did was I took sort of my favorite 5 or 6, I call them ideas. Some of them are principles, some of them are chapter titles, but I just named them ideas. And so I'm going to start with idea number 1, which is God is everywhere present. Now we've all heard that one before, right? Can you say that? God is everywhere present. And this is a major principle in New Thought philosophy. And not only is God everywhere present and in everything, it is everything, because everything is this energy. It's all made of that. And I know I am preaching to the choir, which is really fun, but maybe some people are unfamiliar with this idea. Everything that exists in the seen and the unseen world, and spaces in between, if there's any spaces, is made of this substance, this essence, this presence. And we can remember that and tune into that when we need it. And so, let's see. Oh, and I mentioned a little bit before, this is where the physical us gets to express for spirit, because spirit doesn't have a body. So we're the vehicle. By means of us, we get to do all this, and we have our conscious awareness, and we have our choices. So we are unique. We uniquely express being human for God by means of us. So here's a couple of haiku poems. One life coursing through a divine appointment in human consciousness. Now, does everybody know what a haiku poem is? If you don't know, maybe some people don't know. It's from Japan. It typically talks about something in nature, but it's in the present, usually in the present moment. And there's 3 lines. The first line is 5 syllables, the second line is 7 syllables, and the third line is 5 syllables. So I'm like reading this book and I'm counting. Oh, how do I say it about 6 syllables? How can I say the 5? And it's a craft to be able to do this, and I love doing it. So I call it the 575. I get into the 575 energy. Here's another one. The good I'm seeking is my God. God is my life, health, strength, and support. And so now it talks about, I have to read from page 36. So Eric Butterworth, to quote him, he says, your personal welfare is wealth. Your personal welfare begins with your consciousness. It is not what happens on Wall Street. It is not the state of the economy. It has its inception in the state of your mind. You can be prosperous when business is poor, and you can experience financial difficulties even when business is booming. By your thinking, you are either adding to your good or you are taking away from it. The law is inexorable. Failure or lack in your life is simply the result of continuously minusing yourself. Conversely, success and prosperity are the results of constantly plussing yourself. Your negative thoughts of fear and worry are depleting your good faster than inflation erodes the value of the dollar. Now, this was written in the early 90s. And your positive, optimistic thoughts add to your good more dramatically than compound interest increases your bank savings. And do you guys remember this song that was recorded and written by Billie Holiday? Them that's got shall get, them that's not shall lose. So the Bible says, and it still is news. Mama may have, Papa may have, but God bless the child that's got his own. It's got his own. So I used to sing that. I sang that song in the 70s. I had no idea what I was talking about. And Eric Butterworth explained it here. And what he's talking about is, unless your conscious awareness is expanded, if something comes to you that doesn't resonate, and we all know about the law of attraction or the vibration, if you're vibrating here and something comes to you that's here, you probably won't be able to keep it. because you're not a match to it. So the Bible part, this is in the Bible, I'm not a big Bible person, but this is, for unto everyone that hath shall be given, and he shall have abundance, but from him that hath not shall be taken away even that which he hath. So what it's saying is, if you're not a vibrational match, you're not going to attract what you would like to attract. And so then Abraham Hicks talks about it. You know, you shoot off a rocket of desire, you want this up here, and then it's up to us to get to match that, and then it becomes manifest in the body, in the physical form. And so he says, his statement puts into symbolic language the kind of orderly law upon which the whole universe is constructed. The law of attraction and the law of vibration, which is actually above the law of attraction. A lot of people, when that Abraham Hicks stuff and The Secret came out, oh, the law of attraction, that's the mother law of universal law. Really, it's the law of vibration, because without the law of vibration, we wouldn't have the law of attraction. So then Rebecca, I'm going to talk about Rebecca. So here I am, like, you know, we're in our early 20s, and I'm this folk singer then already, and I started talking about how I'm poor. Like, I don't have money. And she goes, never say you're poor. You could be broke. But poor is a state of mind, and I never forgot that. Never say you're poor. And so here's a direct quote from Eric Butterworth. It's a sin to be poor. You know, sin means you're missing the mark, so you're just not aware. You say you're poor, and it's like, oh, I'm sorry. You know? I'm sorry you think that. So here's another haiku poem. I may have been broke, but I have never been poor. Conscious awareness. And so we're going to do the second song, which is called, first we had the universal voice, now we have the universal realm, and it's, part of it is like a kirtan. You know what a kirtan is? It's a call and response in a traditional kirtan. There's a leader and there's a group. So I'll sing it and then you'll repeat it. And you can have the words up here. Okay. We might do all the ohms together. That's fine. You know, the ohm is the universal sound of creation. So if you're wanting something, if you're praying for something, you have a desire of desire, and if you want to bring that in, use some ohms that could help you. In the universal realm where we live and have our being, the Holy Spirit is present everywhere. In the universal realm where we live and have our being, the Holy Spirit is present everywhere. just look at how nature is constantly giving of itself. And my favorite example of the abundance of nature giving, think about an oak tree. I have an oak tree in my backyard that's, the diameter is probably bigger than from there to there on this red carpet. It's huge. And it used to canopy my whole house. And I didn't have to have so much air conditioning, but the tree's old, so I had to get it trimmed. So now I have to get better insulation in my little house. But that gigantic oak tree came from an acorn this big. That big. And that oak tree has probably been there about 80 years. It's a laurel oak. They don't last like hundreds of years. Like, why did they plant a live oak? Why did they have it? Oh, because they're more expensive, probably. And so this tree gives off hundreds, maybe 1,000 acorns every year, and it's been doing that for 80 years. Yeah, and then every single one of those acorns has the potentiality to create another gigantic oak tree that gives off. So it gives us, me, kind of a glimpse into infinity, how it just keeps going, although it's not infinite because it's physical, but I get that sense of how it's vast and it's huge and it's hard to really contemplate it, just like source. So this prosperity is a way of thinking and being. It's not something we get. The word affluence literally means an abundant flow. Fluent, affluent, fluid, an abundant flow. We all know that. I'm in the flow. I'm in the flow. So here's a haiku. The economy is just a barometer of our consciousness. And now here, I love this quotation from Eric Butterworth. The kingdom that is within you, which is your very own inlet, may become an outlet to all there is in God. Claim your inheritance of abundance. You are entitled to the support of God, substance and everything to which you give your mind or hands. This is what I love. Let go of the belief in the grace of poverty and the subconscious sense of guilt in having things, along with feelings of unworthiness, attitudes that have such a detrimental influence upon human consciousness. Claim your inheritance. Eric Butterworth. Let's give him a hand. I'm rich in spirit by reason of spiritual inheritance. Yes. Okay. We're going to move on. I've got 2 more haiku poems and then the next idea. The Wheel of Fortune is the ever-present God. It's an inside job. Living a charmed life, knowing I deserve it all, spirit then responds. So I'm going to move on. Idea number 3. Your fortune begins with you. How about my fortune begins with me?
My fortune begins with me.
Our point of power is always where? And when? Okay, here and now, present moment. Now we can learn from the past, but we can't go there, but we can learn, but we're learning in the present moment, and we can look to the future. We can set intention. We can have fear, or we could set intentions. We could have a positive attitude or not. But we're doing that now. This is where the point of power is. This is where the choices are, right here. So, conscious awareness is key. This is being conscious of not only what we're thinking, but also what we're feeling. When you have a thought and then there's emotion and feelings, with that is a powerful message to the universe. And thoughts create feelings. Did you ever hear somebody say, a feeling just came over me? And I'm thinking like, no, it didn't. Because thoughts create the feeling. Now they may be unconscious thoughts, they may be buried, or it could just be race consciousness. You have race, the human race, things we're born into. And when people say, oh, well, my mother had a disease, so now, I could get that. And I don't buy that. Because, what did we say? Principle is not bound by precedent. So just because it always happened before, it doesn't mean that we can have a new choice. We can have a new beginning. We can have that end and have a new beginning. I love that. There's so much possibility in this teaching. And the feelings are caused by belief, which are often unconscious beliefs. Yes, and according to Abraham Hicks, everybody here know who she is, says, a belief is just a thought we keep thinking, or it could be a lie or a truth we keep hearing. It's repetition. Some people use that as a tool to get you to think their way, even though may not be true or it might be true. Find better feeling thoughts. They can become manifestations. So I have a song that I want to do, but I just want to share a little bit about my experience with politics. Just a little bit. I tend to go one way, and I was so involved in everything political. I had to watch the podcast, and I had to know what was going on, what was happening now. And I started to notice that I was manifesting things that I did not want because my vibration was doing this. Because I was like ticked off, angry, upset, or it shouldn't be like that. Suffering, because all suffering is wanting it to be other than how it is. So suffering, and then here comes manifestations of things I did not want. So what I started to do was not pay very much attention to what's going on in that world, but I started to tune into podcasts on YouTube of sitting with dogs. Anybody hear what Rocky Kanaka? He goes into the shelters and he finds the dogs that are scared or shaking or shut down somehow and in the back of the kennel. And I was never a dog person, but now I love every dog. But I try, and also I found Caesar Milan, the dog whisperer, and he is my guru. My word for this year is calm. Right? Calm and submissive, or calm and assertive. Calm. See a dog. Try not to pay attention and let them come to you. Let them smell you. They respond first to smell, then to sight, then to. Did you ever watch them sit, and the dog doesn't hear it because give them some food, they can smell, then say sit. Anyway, so I wanted to do this song. It's called Thoughts Become Things. And I actually wrote it, I think I wrote it in 2008. And I wrote it right on the day of the fall equinox. Thoughts become things. Summer into fall, winter into spring. Listen to the call, the thoughts become things. Thoughts become things. I let my wishes ring. I'm awakening, the pendulum swings. The thoughts becoming things. The blessings they can bring. Aware that I'm aware. My thinking is a prayer. My thinking is a prayer. My thinking is a prayer. Thoughts become things. My wishes sing. Yep. I'm affirming now. God's declaring how. Each and every hour I tap into the power of universal law. It brings a state of awe. The magic of the mind is out of space and time. Out of space and time. Out of space and time. I'm opening. I'm awakening. Thoughts become things. The pleasures they can bring. The treasures of the King. I am one with everything. 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 Summer into fall, winter into spring. Listen to the call that thoughts become things. 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 Choose good ones. All right. So I also know that thoughts are things, but they're non-physical. So thoughts become physical. We're always bringing something in from the spiritual world through the law and into the body, into the manifestation, and it goes the other way too. Because once it's in the physical, it cannot last forever. Nothing in the physical lasts. We go back to spirit. All right, moving right along. Idea number 4. In the flow of God, a giving spirit. In the flow of God, a giving spirit. Now here's another quotation from Mary. The goal should not be to make money or acquire things, but to achieve the consciousness through which the substance flows forth when and as you need it. And he's not saying don't make money. He's not saying that at all. But if that's the, that sounds like my phone. That's my husband's ringing the guitar. Anyway, that, when the cell phone rings in a church, it means that an angel got it. Anyway, it's not, it's okay to make money, you know, but if that's like your only goal, I have to have this car, I have to have this, and there's no, like, giving and receiving, you know, if you're constantly on, and I know that one, so we just want to be able to have it as we need it, and make money, but not to have the make money need it all, you know. And electricity is an invisible current. It's a force of nature. And here is another haiku poem. Electric current is invisible to us. We can't deny it. Money or affluence, it doesn't have to be in form, you know, it's a flow, is also an invisible force. That's why it's called what? Currency. Money is currency. When I realized that, I was like, wow. Because we can use it as invisible. Even today, now we can deposit checks into our bank accounts, and the bank just sends it. We don't have to do it. We don't have to get the check account right. It just happens. We can set that intention to, we just set that intention, and it happens, and we don't have to think about it. Handle currency with a joyous attitude to get in the flow. I trust the allness of the infinite supply. Spirit is my source. Here, in a nutshell, giving way to divine flow is in consciousness. It's not what we are giving to, it's what we are truly giving from. And this giving that Eric Butterworth writes about, it's about giving from our divine essence. And we cannot outgive God. For money is God in action. You've heard that, right? Money is God in action. It is a flow. And when the flow is blocked, what happens when the flow is blocked? Things just stop, right? So he says, something's got to give. He says, just start giving to give. Begin the flow, the universal law of circulation. Now, the flow doesn't mean just start giving away all your money. It just means have a generous spirit. Smile at somebody. You know, this little story. I think I was out in California at one of the Asilomar conferences, probably like in 1998 or 1999. I had a car and I'm driving south on, I think it was Route 9. I was going to go to Carmel. And there was all this traffic going both ways. Traffic. I'm heading south. And the traffic coming north, there was a break in the traffic, and there was also a side street with a stop sign here. And I'm here, coming this way, and then there's traffic and there's a break, and I let this person go, this woman. And as she made a left turn in front of me, she goes like that. And she blew me a kiss. And I'm still talking about that because it was one of those defining moments. I blow people kisses all the time. What it did for me, you know, and that was a giving spirit. And I had a giving spirit, but it was just what I do. You know, I like to open the door for somebody, or say hello, or tell somebody, oh, that's a beautiful outfit, or anything. Oh, your hair looks great. Whatever it is, that's a way to start giving. And you can give money too. That's fine. So the song is called "Something's Gotta Give." All right, something's got to give. And it's kind of like a metaphysical Buddy Holly song I wrote. Slapstick. Yeah. Something's gotta give if we truly wanna live in a world where we all grow. Something's gotta give if we truly wanna live in a sacred abundant flow. Let's try it together. Something's gotta give if we truly wanna live in a world where we all grow. Something's gotta give if we truly wanna live in a sacred abundant flow. Giving of itself is the universal start, creating a perfect setting. What I gotta give comes straight from my heart, and is love and light and blessing. Something's gotta give if we truly wanna live in a world where we all grow. Something's gotta give if we truly wanna live in a sacred abundant flow. I release what no longer serves, creating a space for growing. Open to grace brings me what I deserve from the place within my knowing. Something's gotta give if we truly wanna live in a world where we all grow. Something's gotta give if we truly wanna live in a sacred abundant flow. Something's gotta give if we truly wanna live in a world where we all grow. Something's gotta give if we truly wanna live in a sacred abundant flow. In a sacred abundant flow. In an abundant flow. So it is. So it was so much fun writing these songs. I was doing my homework and stopping and taking forever. Because for me, nothing feels better than to be in that creative flow, and the downloads come, and I'm counting at 575. So, let me see. Oh, idea number 5. Distinctions in tithing practice. So, according to Butterworth, there are distinctions around the concept of tithing. If we give to get, that's not real giving. You know that one, right? You know, well, I'm going to tithe this much and then I'll get that. And the history of the tithe, which translates to the word 10, is the giving of 10% of income, crops, or whatever is earned or accumulated. And when it first started, when this idea of 10 first started, it was a requirement. It was really a tax or a toll to be able to cross a bridge. It wasn't really that, it was, you had to do it, or else you could face punishment. Some people were even put to death because they didn't give their full share. And so, oh yes, 185 says, Jesus is never quoted in support of tithing. There's a couple places where he doesn't like it. He doesn't like it because you have to do it. You're not doing it freely. And it's not to infer that he condemned it, but it's to realize that he saw the keeping of the rigid code of tithing as a ritual far less important than the weightier matters of consciousness. It wasn't in our consciousness, the consciousness. And I remember that before I read this book, I was thinking about increasing my monthly gift to my Center for Spiritual Living, which in Sarasota, which, by the way, last night we got an award for Community of the Year.
Wow.
Very proud. So if you go on Facebook, if you're Center for Spiritual Living Cultural Coast, or cslculturalcoast.org, and you'll see Reverend Teresa. I was a founding member. I was really happy about that. But I wanted to up my tithe, or my gift, and I just hadn't done it. But when I did this, I just increased it by 50%. And it's in that flow. It's like the bank just sends it. I don't know about it. It's just okay, here it goes. And I'm really finding on this trip, the more I give, the more that's the law of circulation. You can't just stay there and go collect, because that will stop the flow. So, does anybody here buy lottery tickets? Anybody? Don't be ashamed. I buy lottery tickets every week in Florida, and I just do the lotto because that's what I used to do in New Jersey. I know how to do it. I know my numbers, and I can check on my phone. Now, there it's up to like 25 million or something like that. And so, when I go to buy a lottery ticket, I'm thinking like, oh, what can we do with, well, we'll probably get half of that. So, what can we do with $12 million? Oh, well, we'll help the senator, we'll do this, we'll pay this off, we'll do that. And it really makes me feel better. It makes me feel like, oh, like I'm standing in the possibility of what could be and how that feels. And so I spend $6 a week. I buy 2 double tickets. A double ticket's $3, so I buy one for Wednesday night and one for Saturday night. And I do this every week. You can buy in advance, and before I left, I bought like 2 months worth of lottery tickets. And I usually know if I won because I can check on my phone. I have the app, and I'll go in and go, I think I have a winner, And then when they put the ticket in the machine, if it wins, even if it's just a ticket, the machine goes, da 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 da. And so I'm there going, come on, da, da, da. And then oh, you won a free ticket. I won. I mean, I get like this in the store, in Publix. Yeah. I won a free ticket. And I don't care what people think, because here's another spiritual principle: what you think of me is none of my business. Right? Dr. Barker said that, obviously. So, yeah, it just makes me feel good. And if I don't win, right, I get to donate about $300 a year to education in Florida. And that's good too. Try ignorance. But we need education. So this is a song I made about the lottery. Every time I buy a lottery ticket, I am a winner. I am a winner. Every time I buy a lottery ticket, my heart's a glimmer. My heart's a glimmer. My vibration's risen and it's given me such a feeling. A realization, transformation's healing. Oh yes, it's healing. Every time I buy a lottery ticket, I am a winner. I am a winner. Every time I buy a lottery ticket, my heart's a glimmer. My heart's a glimmer. And so it is. Got it? We're going to probably go over a little bit. I think that was okay. Some senators are like, no, you're better. But we have freedom here. Thank you, Concordia. So we're going to move on to idea number 6, trusting God. Trusting God. And, I do want to just say one more thing about tithing, because I don't want you to think I don't approve of it. It's okay, it's a practice, it's fine to do, and it sort of becomes habitual if you're doing it, and then that puts you in the flow. But you're not giving to get, you're giving to give. That's the main distinction. You're giving to give because you have a generous spirit. Okay, trust in God. God can do no more for you than God does through you. Pray, then take action. We talked about that. And so this is on I have a CD called Earnest. I wrote all these songs in the 2 years that I was in my practitioner training for the second time. I went through it in 2003, but I just didn't get my license. It wasn't that important to me at the time, but this time it was really important. And it was a divine appointment because I didn't plan it. It just kind of happened, and I'm so glad. So glad. So, this I know. What do we say in Science of Mind? We're made 100% of source energy, spirit, God, goddess, higher power, infinite wisdom. What are some other names for this?
Presence.
Presence. Power, source, yeah. We are each 100% made of that as individualizing expressions. Now you can say, hey, you're unique. just like everybody else. So, if we know that, then we can actually pray and set intentions with the faith of God, not just in. Science of mind, Centers for Spiritual Living. That's a big distinction that we have compared to some of the other New Thought centers. Everything's you, God, thank you. We don't do that. We say I am, because we're that little piece of spirit that can claim and declare and know with the faith of all there is. There's a universal consciousness that comes with the thought that I am blessed. I know this, I know. That's your part. I know this, I know. I know this, I know. And I believe in my heart and mind with the faith of God that all is divine. I know this, I know. Prayer is communion, a sacred union, a secret place of the Most High. Prayer is an openness and a willingness to see the world with the eyes of God. I know this, I know. There's a universal consciousness that comes with the thought that I am blessed. I know this, I know. And I believe in my heart and mind with the faith of God that all is divine. I know this, I know. There's communion, a sacred union, a secret place of the Most High. Prayer is an openness and a willingness to see the world with the eyes of God. I know this, I know. I know this, I know. One more for me. And so it is. Thank you so much. So this will be the final song, and the final principle, which is oh, page 5.
That's the principle.
You're at page 5. Thank you, Spirit. There it is. Okay. Idea number 6 is green side up. This was so fun for me. Put it up here. So I'm not sure how much of this is on it. Okay, so Eric Butterworth talks about when you're handing somebody money, hand it to them green side up. Now, I forgot my money. Does anybody have a piece of paper money?
I do.
That I can borrow? I promise I'll pay it back. So you know how to do all the paper money, and then I found out all the coins too. There's a side that's darker with the head on it, typically a dead president. Okay. Oh wow, fat head. These were the first fat heads, the hundreds. Woo,
Fat head.
They're all fat heads now. These came out in 1996. I remember this photo. So. See how it's kind of dark? It's green, but it's dark, but the back is more green. And he says, when you hand somebody money, you hand it to the green side up, because all the money says, in God we trust. So that when you're handing someone money, you remember to do the green side up, you're remembering to bless the money and bless the person that's getting it. So, right after I learned this, I was in Florida, I went into the Circle K to get a cup of coffee, some coffee. And I said to the, it's like what you think is on my business. I just said, I just learned this new thing, that there's the money like this, and there's the dark side and there's the green side, and that when you give somebody money, you hand them the money, you're blessing the money and the person you're giving it to. And she goes, oh, I needed to hear that. And it just made me feel so good. It's like, so what if somebody thinks I'm a crazy lady? So what do we have up here? All right, let's try that chorus. This verse. It's sort of the A B. So we'll do the A part. All the paper money in America has a message for each one of us. All the paper money in America has a message in God we trust. Let's do it again. All the paper money in America has a message for each one of us. All the paper money in America has a message in God we trust. Now here's the chorus part. And remember, I grew up in a nursery school. Some of you knew this. My mom had it in our big giant farmhouse called Silverland. So this is kind of, that says a nursery school thing. So you go like this. Green side up when you put your money down. Let's try that. Green side up when you put your money down. Green side up when you pass it around. Green side up when you're paying for your stuff. Green side up, it says in God we trust. And again, green side up when you put your money down. Green side up when you pass it around. Green side up when you're paying for your stuff. Green side up, it says in God we trust. All the paper money in America has a message for each one of us. All the paper money in America has a message in God we trust. Green side up when you put your money down. Green side up when you pass it around. Green side up when you're paying for your stuff. Green side up, it says in God we trust. There's a blessing to the person you hand the money to. There's a blessing that comes right back to you. Come on. All the paper money in America has a message for each one of us. All the paper money in America has a message in God we trust. Green side up when you put your money down. Green side up when you pass it around. Green side up when you're paying for your stuff. Green side up, it says in God we trust. Green side up, it says in God we trust. Green side up, it says in God we trust. And so it is. Thank you, everybody.
Let's give her a warm welcome. That was beautiful. All right, so we have news you can use, and the first thing is that Faerie Elaine will continue the magic, the fairy dust, the joy downstairs as she walks us through, or we journey through beetleology. And after fellowship downstairs, join us for beetleology with Reverend Faerie Elaine.
We're going to be up here for that, right?
Yeah. Oh, up here. Okay, so up here.
You're going to feed us, right?
Yes, we're going to go downstairs first for fellowship, and then we'll come upstairs for more magic. All right. For sacred activism. In the Signs of Mind magazine for August, our spiritual leader, Reverend Sonny Cantrell Smith, wrote about sacred activism this month. And I'm just going to read a quick paragraph, let her do the talking for us. Sacred activism is the intersection where consciousness becomes action, where prayer becomes movement, and where spiritual principle becomes practice. It is the sacred activity of bringing our centers for spiritual living, global vision, into reality. And that's what we're doing here at Concordia. So we invite you, if you're interested in doing all of that, to come and join with us, Sacred Activism. Our next meeting is going to be Wednesday, August 20th from 6 to 8. Again, it will be at Judith Sutphen's home. She's really opened up her home, and we'll have a potluck. And we'll also have Reverend Jeremy, come from Rhode Island Council of Churches to talk to us about what they're doing and how we can engage with them. So we invite you to join us for that. The Women's Circle, Shannon or Martha, do y'all want to come up?
It's raining cash.
It's raining money.
Good morning, everyone. So Shannon and I are going to be heading up the next Women's Circle Friday night, which is the 29th. And we're calling it Let's Play because we're going to play. We really are leaning into bringing out childlike spirit, and there's going to be activities and movement and fun. So please, ladies, come and join us. And as usual, it's 6:30 to 8, and love offerings are welcome. And I just want to add, there's not a slide for it, but I just want to give a little reminder that next week on Sunday, Amy Steinberg will be here with us on Zoom, and she's wonderful and so delightful, and it will be another songs and sermon kind of thing with her, and she's great, so please join us next week.
Continue the music extravaganza. And Beyond Limits, John?
Thank you, Reverend Faerie Elaine. That was dramatically amazing. And to bring that forward, all those principles and practices and ideas, this is a deep dive into that opportunity with Beyond Limits. And if there's an interest in opening and expanding the consciousness, the power within each one, the potential and possibility, like an unlimited lottery ticket, please join my beautiful gift of friend and fellow practitioner. Wave your hands, yeah? And cheers, Carla Joyce. We're going to be doing 8 weeks. It's going to start on September 3rd. It's Wednesday nights from 6 to 8:30. Not only will we be live, but it will be also televised into your Zoom experience. You can sit in your jammies and stay home and also enjoy and celebrate and engage in the successful process of letting spirit flow through each and every one in a greater way, in a bigger way, in a way that each one gets to choose for themselves, free will, choice. Please join us. Everything is going to be amazing in that class. And it's going to be from September 3rd through October 22nd, if I get that right. I did. All right, love you guys. See you there. Thanks. Online and in person.
John. And now I'd like to invite Brian, who is practitioner this week, to come up and lead us out.
Conscious giving, right? We're going to talk about conscious giving a little bit. I think we've already had a really great lead up to conscious giving. The green side up, in God we trust, right? So what is the realization of conscious giving? I think I really want you to just take a little minute here. Think about what is your conscious giving creating as a realization? What have you made real by participating in? That's what the conscious giving is all about. When you give, what did you receive in your own life? The manifestation of conscious giving is the center, the space that we're in. One of them, a wonderful presence who is expressing in such a beautiful way, and a great connection in this community, and I really appreciate that. So, could I ask the greeters to come forward? There's a practical aspect to this, and there's a card in front of you that allows you to give consciously in many different ways. One of them, obviously, is with cash. Green side up. Please. Checks, which represent all of the green side up. And then we do debit cards, credit cards, the text. And if you would please, you all know what's next.
Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I circulate.
So it is.
And while you're passing the baskets, we're going to, God is my source, all my needs are met, and I'm grateful, right? God is my source, all my needs are met, and I am grateful that in Him. God is my source, all my needs are met, and I am grateful my needs are met. All my needs are met. All my needs are met. All my needs are met, and I am grateful. I am grateful. I am grateful. I am grateful. Means I know. Okay, we're going to do our closing song, and it's one that I made. It's very simple. Your part, all is well, all is well, all is well continually. Don't judge my appearances. All is well, all is well, all is well for you and me. I believe it's my job to uplift people and to remind us that whatever's going on, I'm not going to let it rob me of my joy and my vibratory rate. Maybe for a little while, but we catch ourselves and then we go pet the dog. All is well. All is well. All is well. Continually. All is well. All is well. All is well for you and me. I'm in the flow of love. I'm in the flow of life. In a boat of gratitude on a river of healing life. Let's sing that chorus. Big voice. All is well. All is well. All is well. Continually. All is well. All is well. All is well for you and me. In the infinite flow, we find more gifts when we know that life is an attitude and challenges can help us grow. You know those growth. Oh, it's another growth experience opportunity. All is well. All is well. All is well. Continually. All is well. All is well. All is well for you and me. I surrender to what is.
So it's my privilege to be up here today and know that this is a divine action brought real, made real right here in this center. And that today's service unfolded exactly the way it was meant to the highest good in service to each and every one here, each and every one out into the greater community that we have, and to all of the world. Let's not forget, we are the entire world, the entire universe, all sentient beings and consciousness. We are one with it all. We are one with it all. We are one with it all. And I know as we move out into the day today, everything is divinely blessed. It will unfold in absolute perfection. And it is my great joy to look forward to good in all of it. With that, I say so.
So it is.